to hit record and I'm going to share my screen. And if you have any questions, feel free to just interrupt me.
Sounds good.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about how to build a following on social media. And as you probably know from the training, this is the most important part of your business. Your social media is like your storefront. It's going to make the invitation process easier. It's going to make recruiting other coaches easier. It's going to make everything in your business easier because your social media is your storefront. It's, you're sharing little bits of value. You're sharing bits of who you are. You're sharing what you stand for. And if you're doing that every single day, people are going to get to know you. So if you're doing that every day, people are going to realize, okay, this is somebody that I can trust. This is somebody who's going to be consistent. This is somebody that, that is going to be able to help me. And the thing that a lot of Beachbody coaches don't realize is that through your social media, you're earning the right to ask for people's business. You're earning their trust. First and foremost, before anything, you're earning their trust. You're giving them something of value on a daily basis. And, through while you're gaining their trust, you do that through consistency. You do that through confidence. You do that through owning your title. Like I have a friend who, when I first found out that she was a Beachbody coach, she was like, oh yeah, just kind of do it on the side. And that really turned me off. I was like, why aren't you proud? Why aren't you proud to be a Beachbody coach? And so, so don't go into your conversations with people. Don't go into your posting about, specifically the business opportunity, but also challenge groups as, oh, well, it does cost money, but, it's kind of worth it. Don't go into it that way. Go into it with confidence, because this is something that, I'm so proud to be a Beachbody coach. And just Amy, even your story, I think about the way that you just shine, when you talk about the challenge group, and when you talk about the things that you've accomplished, you are just bright and shiny, and it's so motivating and so encouraging. And it's clear to me that you are proud, and you should be proud because you've come so far. So we all want to be successful coaches. We want to be, leading our team successfully, leading our challengers successfully, but we can't do that if we're not consistent. My battery's about to die. I'm going to grab my charger really quick.
Okay.
That's super weird because it was just plugged in, but okay.
Not frustrating.
All right. There, it's charging now. Okay. So, all right. So we all want to be successful, right? We want to lead our team successfully. We want to lead our challengers successfully. We want to help people get results and have successful businesses. But if you are not constantly building your credibility, if you're not constantly working on your own personal progress, if you're not being consistent, then you're not going to be able to help anybody else, because you're not going to know how to teach them. Imagine if I was super inconsistent with my fitness and somebody came to me and said, hey, how can I be more consistent with my fitness? I'd be like, well, I don't know. I'm not consistent either. So consistency is so important. And as you're building that credibility, you're going to be increasing your influence, which is going to grow your following. So I'm just going to give you, I think I have 5 things that will absolutely help you in growing your following and building your credibility and helping you to be a successful coach. So first of all, most important is be credible. So you need to be consistent with your own wellness. We've already talked about this. So, but if you share that you're so excited, you're starting a new program, I'm going to, follow the 21-day fixed eating plan. It's going to be great. Started, insanity or whatever. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, oh man, I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to restart the 21-day fix. And then 2 weeks later, oh, I'm going to restart the 21-day fix. It's okay if that happens, once. It's okay if it, if you fall off the horse every once in a while, but that should be rare. You should be the example. Nobody's going to trust you if you're not sharing your journey consistently, if you're not, starting programs and finishing them. If you share that you've started a program and 2, weeks later, you're starting a new program in the same, sense, people are going to catch on to that. People are going to realize, oh my gosh, well, she's starting programs and then giving up 2 weeks in. So there are too many people out there who start programs and don't finish them. Too many people out there who, they go to the gym for 2 weeks and then they fall off the horse. Like, all of us have been there, and this is supposed to be the answer for those people. So if we're not being consistent, I have goosebumps. I don't know why. Maybe this is like super powerful for me. I think it is, because I was that person. And when I realized, like, okay, this is the answer. The answer is having support. The answer is a challenge group. The answer is, Shakeology. The answer is the 21-day fix meal plan. Like, Beachbody was the answer for me. And if we're not showing people that the answer that we're sharing works, at least for us, but, even better for more people, then they're not going to trust us. So be credible. Hey, Jade. It's good to see you. So yes, our job is to show people that these programs changed our lives. And, the way that they changed our lives is through completing the programs. And then in the same way, if you share, like, on the 5th of the month that you are going to be hosting a challenge group the next month, and then after the 5th of the month, you never talk about that challenge group again, people are going to be like, what happened to that challenge group she was talking about? Why did she change her mind? Like, why is she not inviting to her challenge group anymore? And people are going to think that you changed their mind. People are going to think that you flaked out. And they're going to be like, okay, well, clearly she's not consistent. Clearly I can't trust her because she said she was going to start a challenge group and she's clearly not doing it. So even just with our posting, consistency is such a huge deal. So start programs, finish programs, be consistent with your nutrition, drink your Shakeology every day, and then, you should be sharing. I think both of you have been pretty consistent with the new coach training. So, sorry, I did something weird to my screen. And all of you know that, 3 to 5 times posting on your social media per day is pretty standard. And 2 of those should be wellness related. So on any given day, in the morning, I share something encouraging or a motivational quote or something. In the afternoon, I share about my workout. So I either do a workout video or a sweaty selfie, something regarding my workout, or my Shakeology. So you don't want to be like, wake up, motivational Monday post, 10 a.m., post workout selfie, 12 p.m. Shakeology, 4 p.m., challenge group invite. You don't want to do that. But at least, 1 or 2 of those posts should be related to your Beachbody business, either the coaching or challenge group. And then, after, all of that, share about your personal development. If you are in a place and you're just like, gosh, I have no idea what to share on my social media, share about your personal development. People want to see that you're growing as a person. They want to see that you are, learning new things, that you are, again, being consistent, that you are the example. Be the kind of person that other people want to be. That's who we are as Beachbody coaches. We're exemplifying we're not perfect, but we're exemplifying how to live a balanced and healthy life and be happy. So that is the very first part of, attracting followers, is being credible. Show people that you deserve to be followed. Number 2 is find your platform. So Facebook is awesome. Facebook is great, but it is not the end all. So if you're better at, sorry, can you guys see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so if you feel like you are better at taking photos, then maybe Instagram would be better for you. If you are really great at speaking and you like to create videos. I really like making videos on iMovie and making them really pretty and fun and adding graphics and stuff. I haven't been doing that much lately just because of time, but I love videos. And so for me, like, I really like adding to my YouTube channel, and I'm, currently working on growing my YouTube channel, specifically for other coaches. So I'm trying to create a lot of good content that other coaches can come and learn from. I want to be, that person, the person that's teaching all of the people how to be successful coaches. So if you're good at video, then YouTube's a really good idea for you. If you're a great writer, a blog might be a good option for you. But whatever you do, don't try to tackle every platform at once. Your best bet is going to be to, play around with one, try some different stuff. Obviously, you should always be adding new friends, connecting with people, commenting on their posts, asking them questions, rather than just, oh, cute picture, like, oh my gosh, where did you get that shirt, or whatever. Asking them questions, showing them that, you are genuinely interested in getting to know them and being their friend. So, whichever one you choose, get really good at that one before you try adding on, 2 or 3. And then also, whichever platform you use, you want to go and check out other successful people on that platform. So for example, Chalene Johnson is like the Instagram guru. She is like Instagram. Everybody, even people not in Beachbody, know that they should be following Chalene Johnson. Like, she's great at Instagram. And then for YouTube, Melanie Mitro is really good. Anita Myron is really good. There are tons. Coach Caleb, what is his last name? I don't know, but Coach Caleb, that's what he goes by on YouTube. He is great on YouTube, and lots of people follow him. And then as far as Facebook goes, Bonnie Engel is really great with Facebook. Shay Phillips, Nicola Anderson, my coach, is great with Facebook. I feel like I'm pretty good at Facebook, but I don't know. So check out, what the leaders in that platform are doing, and then exemplify them, or not exemplify, imitate them. Put your own spin on it. Obviously you don't want to like copy and paste their posts or use their graphics or anything, but if you see something that you just think like, oh my gosh, like, that's such a great idea, I should be marketing that way, then use their post. Tell them, hey, I loved your post about blah blah blah, do you mind if I use your idea? And 100 times out of 100 they're gonna say, yeah, absolutely. So something that I like to do, I have like a Facebook list of coaches that are like top coaches and coaches that I look up to and people who do really well. And once a week I go through and I just scroll through and I look at all of their news feeds and I see, what kind of stuff they're doing. And if something really sticks out to me, then I'll write it down, or I'll take a screenshot and save it on my computer. And then if I'm struggling to think of something to post, then I go back and I look at the stuff that spoke to me and that, encouraged me, or the stuff that I thought, wow, that's a really great way of putting that. So that's what I like to do once a week, go through and just find some posts that speak to me, and then I remake them if I am struggling to find something. And again, feel free to copy other coaches on this team, specifically the Upgraded Alliance and Dynasty United, and obviously the Freedom Collective. We are all working together. This is not a business where people are like, oh no, this is my idea, you can't have it. Like, we're not like a reservoir, we're rivers. We want to, help each other. We want to pour into each other. And like, our success is their success. Your success is my success. My success is your success. We're all in this together. So obviously don't plagiarize. That's not okay, but use their ideas, rewrite stuff to, fit your own personality. So again, as far as finding your platform, you want to become an expert in one. And then once you master one of them, start playing around with the others. Mine are Facebook and Instagram, and then now I'm delving a little bit more into YouTube. So find your favorite and run with it. So next, you want to find your ideal customer. And what I mean by that is you want to think about who you are. Think about the things that make you a great coach, because both of you on the call tonight are going to be incredible coaches. And I know that for a fact because you are consistent. And both of you have like the hugest hearts ever. And both of you have awesome stories. Like I think about Jade, I think about like where you've come from. Oh my gosh, like again, I have goosebumps because like you have overcome so much and you are such a strong person for it. And Amy, like you have traveled the world. Like, do you understand how important it is to have that cultural intelligence and that ability to, like, the fact that you understand so much about another culture is going to help you so much because you're going to be able to understand another person. You know, how much more like that. It's just amazing. You both were made to be coaches. Makes me happy. So anyways, you want to think about who you are. Think about the things that make you a unique, really, I want to use the word powerful, but I don't think that's the right word. A really great coach, and write those things down. So the things that help me connect with people. First of all, I'm a new mom. I'm super dorky. That is how I connect with a lot of people, is we're just like, oh my gosh, we're both dorky. Thank God you understand me. Not that either of you are dorky, but so I love easy, clean food. I am not one of those people who like creates these wonderful recipes. I can follow a recipe. Awesome. I've come up with some, delicious dishes, but I'm that type of person that I grab my chicken and I grab my vegetable and I grab my carbohydrate, and they might not all go together, but they're all on the same plate, and that's okay for me. Like that's the kind of person that I am. I love reading. I love shopping a little too much. I love clean products, like, clean makeup, clean house cleaning products, stuff that's not going to give us cancer. I had 2 miscarriages. I have a rainbow baby. I have, been through depression and anxiety. I have, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I have been through that help me to connect with other people. So ask yourself, what are those things that make you connect with other people? And when you think about those things, you want to write them down. You want to, think about what kind of a person connects with those same things. And you'll find that the more you connect with who you are, the more you'll be able to spot people like you, and the more you'll be able to connect with the people who need your help. And the cool thing about Beachbody is that, like, I can't be a good coach to everyone. I can't. And like, I have had, I think, just 2 people in the, year and a half that I've been coaching who, started and fizzled out. And I just don't think that we were a good match for each other. And that's okay. But the thing is that if you are trying to be a good coach to everyone, you're not going to be a good coach for anyone. So find the people that you can connect with. Find the people that you are going to be able to help. So like for me, I decided that, and I didn't use Joyce Meyer as like my example, but somebody told me that I was the Joyce Meyer of Beachbody. So I just use that. Like, I want to be the Joyce Meyer of Beachbody. Joyce Meyer is like constantly sharing encouragement. She's constantly trying to uplift people. She has like all these podcasts, and I want to be that in Beachbody. I want to encourage the pants off of everybody who comes onto my Facebook page. And even on the days when I'm not feeling it, even on the days when I am just mad because I'm having a rough day, or I'm grumpy because my baby didn't sleep, or, I fell down the stairs, whatever is going on, I want to use those things, find the bright side, and I'm going to share about that on my Facebook because I want to exemplify what I've decided I want to be. So you have to decide who you're going to be. You have to just decide who you're talking to, who you can help. And the next one goes perfectly along with this, finding your voice. Something that's so important as Beachbody coaches is to connect with our story. And part of that is digging deep down into the depths of who we are, like not just the surface level, like I like to cook and I like to read books and I like the Avett Brothers, like not that stuff, but the deeper stuff. Like, I shared some of it just now. The fact that I've lost babies, the fact that, when I found out that I was pregnant with Everett, that I had anxiety attacks every single day because I was so scared that I was going to lose him. And the fact that, I have, the thought has crossed my mind that I don't want to be alive anymore because I was so depressed. And the fact that I've had anxiety attacks when I am out in the crowd with people. Those are the things that you want to think about. Finding your voice, finding what exactly caused you to be the person that you are today. And yes, some of that is, I like to read Harry Potter. Some of that is, I like the Lord of the Rings. Some of that is, fish is my favorite protein, like some of that is who you are, but the deep stuff, the stuff that, that like makes you want to throw up, that's the stuff that is truly going to help you connect with people. So think about it. What's your story? What's going to help you build a relationship with those people? So there are 4 things that I talk about on my Facebook page, kind of generally. I was trying to generalize and I had a hard time. So maybe I'm not quite as organized as this, but I try to talk about fitness, obviously. I talk about Everett because he is like the most popular baby that ever lived, for real. I like to talk about my business. I feel like that's really important as coaches, not to just talk about the fitness part of it, but also the business part. And I like to talk about freedom. So, freedom from anxiety, freedom from depression, freedom from eating disorders, freedom from, the yo-yo that I was on, but also freedom in, finances, freedom in Christ, freedom in, all of those things that are freedom. I like to talk about how, I've been freed from bondage. So, and I'm going to be real here for a second with you guys. And this is going to sound really crazy, but just listen to the whole thing before you freak out. So something that a lot of coaches don't realize is that nobody cares that you're doing a fitness program. Nobody cares that you're eating healthy. Nobody cares that you're drinking Shakeology, right? Nobody cares until you show them why, right? Like nobody cares that, so-and-so has a 6-pack. No one cares that so-and-so lost 50 pounds. I mean, it's cool. Like, oh, wow, good job. Nice job losing 50 pounds. But nobody cares until you tell them, I was struggling with infertility, or I was, my doctor told me that I, had to do this or I was going to have a heart attack. No, I had to get my triglycerides down because I was in a dangerous place. Or, there are so many people, I just use this example because I've seen it so many times, but there are so many people in our challenge group who couldn't get pregnant because of their health. And then, they do Beachbody for 3 months and get pregnant. Like, it's incredible. So nobody cares until you show them why. So a call to action that I wanted to give you guys, something that you can like tangibly work on, something that you should be doing at least once a week is a transformation post. So you could do like Transformation Tuesday. I did Transformation Tuesday today. Throwback Thursday, you don't have to do it on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but that's when I like to do mine. But you have to do them because people need to see more than just, oh, Jade is doing the 21-day fix. That's awesome. But Jade is doing the 21-day fix because she, tried everything. And she, wanted a better solution, and she yo-yoed with her weight and she couldn't find anything that worked. And then I found Beachbody. And people need to know why you're doing it, not just that you are doing it, but they need to know why and where you came from. This is a post that not only shows your own progress, but it shows where you've come from. It shows the emotional struggle that you've overcome. It shows the person that you were contrasted with the person that you are now. So ask yourself, what are the things about your past that you've overcome? And, specifically that Beachbody has helped you to overcome. But I mean, the challenge group is so expansive. Like when I think about my life, the challenge group is such a huge part of that. Like I think about you guys all day long, every day. So, I mean, there are so many areas that I've experienced growth in, due to Beachbody that is, separate from a challenge group. Like, you know, I think about the relationships that I've built, and, you know, the fact that I was lonely and that I didn't feel like anybody understood me or connected with me. And now I have this amazing tribe of women who I get to hang out with all day long, every day on social media. I have success partners who like legitimately want to see me succeed in my business, and that I want to see them succeed in their business, and that we work together on stuff. And I have a team who looks to me for support. Like, that's crazy to me. So, you know, ask yourself about those things. Which areas of your life have you experienced the most growth? What are the things that make you want to throw up? The things that you don't like to think about, but you know that they helped you to grow as a person. You know, I can tell you that the times that I shared about my miscarriages, the times that I shared about my depression, the times that I shared about, you know, the really, really low times in my life and how, you know, they're not so low anymore. Those are the scariest things I've ever talked about. And I wanted to throw up before I posted those posts. But those are the posts that connected with the most people. You know, when I shared for the first time about my miscarriage, I had like 20 women message me and say, oh my gosh, like, you know, thank you for sharing, because I had a miscarriage, and, you know, it was so hard, and I was in the same place that you were, and seeing that you came through it is so encouraging, because I don't feel like I'm ever going to come out of it. Like, you are the person that people are looking to for that light in the dark tunnel. Like, life is hard. Sometimes life totally sucks. And a lot of people are depressed, and a lot of people are, you know, when I like walk down the street and I see somebody who's overweight, and I can tell that they are just uncomfortable in their body, like, I feel for that person. I feel for them, because I know that they don't want to be in that place, and that they, you know, they probably have tried a million things to lose weight and nothing works. And I just want to run up to them and hug them and say, I want to help, you know, like, I want to help you, because I have this answer for you. And, you know, showing those people where we've come from and that we have this answer, that's so powerful. So people need to see that they can relate to you. You're not just some Beachbody robot, but you're a person who has overcome much, and you're growing every single day. So find your voice. You know, what do you have to say to people? Where have you come from, and where are you now? That is such a huge and powerful thing. And then finally, the last thing that I want to talk about is using the art of story to craft your posts. So this one is kind of, you know, a little bit cloudy, but I think I want to do an entire call on just this. So one of the hardest things to do when you're writing your posts is figuring out what to say. A lot of times I feel repetitive, because I've been doing this for a long time. But I know that when I'm having a hard time connecting with people, I just need to, you know, I need to think about a different way to say things. So if you're one of those people and you have a hard time like figuring out what to say, and you're just like, oh, I don't know. Okay, I did my workout today. Sweaty selfie, look at me, I did my workout. Like, if that's what you struggle with, then you can use the art of story to craft posts. So your story is your reality, like your day-to-day. And people love following other people's stories. Like, I listen to audiobooks all day long. I have a hard time putting my audiobooks away so that I can do my work. Like, the mistake that a lot of Beachbody coaches make is trying to persuade with facts rather than, you know, showing people with a story. So the problem with persuasion is that humans naturally resist it. Like, when I feel like you're trying to get me to do something, I'm like, no, I'm going to do the opposite because you're trying to get me to do it. And I don't trust you, and, you know, just get out of my face. And that's how every human, unless like you're super, super awesome, that's how every human responds to persuasion. But if we offer a storyline, if we show people, you know, our lives, they can begin seeing themselves in our shoes and start doing the things that we're doing. So something that you got to love about like women, that's our brand, right? That's our ideal customers, women. We love drama. We don't like hearing about the perfect stuff. We don't like to see like the cookie cutter, oh, look at me and my Stepford wife life. Like, we don't like that. We like to see there was a period during my pregnancy where I was spilling everything. Like, I spilled yogurt on the floor. I'm standing right in front of the blinds that I accidentally pulled onto my head. Like, I was dropping everything and spilling everything. And so I started like chronicling that. And I think I even created a hashtag, and people that was the biggest engagement I got on posts, was the messy stuff. So people love hearing about the messy stuff. So we can use this for our business, right? And so in order to craft a meaningful post, you can use the character, problem, solution formula. So the character is the former you, the you that you were before you decided to make a positive change. And this is also your ideal customer. The problem is the thing that you want, right? I was stuck in, a body that didn't feel like mine. I was unhealthy. I couldn't eat solid food, and I wanted to eat solid food, and I wanted to stop yo-yoing with my weight. And I wanted, that is the problem. And then the solution was Beachbody, right? So this is going to help you to build a reputation. This is going to help people to, actually have interest in what you have to say. And something that you can do to map out the problem part of your post is list out the emotions that you were feeling before you started your journey. So for me, I felt trapped. I was unhappy. I wanted to get pregnant, and my body was just not doing it. And so those are the keywords that you use in the text of your problem part of your post. And then, you craft your post. So, the character, you, the person that you were, the problem, and then the solution. That's your post. And then another formula you can use is the and, but, therefore formula. So the and is the setup of your story, the but is the conflict, and the therefore is your resolution. So let's say I'm talking to people who feel like they don't have time to work out, right? Which, give me a break. Everybody has 22 minutes. So I could do a sweaty selfie with, I didn't want to do my workout, but I pressed play and I made it happen. What did you do today? Which is fine. We all do those posts, that happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. But something more effective that would, move someone emotionally and connect with someone is using the and, but, therefore method. And so I want to show you a post that I did using the and, but, therefore method. So this is just a picture. I, believe it or not, I had worked out. I was sweaty, but my phone makes it all shiny. So this post says, it's 9:30. My baby's been sleeping for almost 2 hours. And about 30 minutes ago, my fluffy bed with brand new sheets, aka heaven, was literally calling to me, like audibly. I started getting my pajamas out, I washed my face, and I even said goodnight to the hubs. All I wanted to do was crawl into my fluffy warm bed 2 hours early, or watch a movie, or eat a tasty snack, or. That is the and, right? That is the setup, right? And then the but. However, I haven't done my workout today, and I'm going to the beach next weekend. So I walked right by that fluffy bed, grabbed my workout shoes, and did my workout. And here's the therefore. And now I'm basking in the wonderful post-workout high and finishing up some stretches before crawling into that lovely warm bed of mine. It would have been easy to skip it. Glad I didn't. And then I hashtagged it, obsessed with this coach life. So that's a really effective way to get people to engage on your posts. And a really powerful way to get people to, connect with you, to tell them a story. So finally, I wanted to give you guys your calls to action for this week. So just to review really quickly, we are credible, right? We're finding our platform. We're finding our ideal customer. We're finding our voice, and we're using the art of story. So I want you to do a transformation post this week. So Amy, you did one. Awesome. That can count as your transformation post, or you could do another one. Maybe talk about how, rather than like your physical transformation, talk about something emotional, something, in your heart, whatever. And then the second one, I want you to recreate that I didn't want to work out post, the one that I did. And do it with your own words, do it with your own voice, do it with your own perspective, but get used to the and, but, therefore method in your own posts. And then I want you to share 3 things in the Freedom Collective team page that make up who you are, make up who you attract. So, the person that's your ideal customer. And then be awesome and be consistent and don't give up. So that is all for, okay, there we go. So that's all for tonight. Did you guys have any questions about anything?
I didn't. I think that was great.
Awesome.
I loved it. You're amazing.
You're amazing.